First off, authorities are looking for a young boy after the car he was in was taken from a grocery store in Jackson.
WJTV's Tay Holmes is live at the Kroger on I-55 with more on this missing child. Tay, what can you tell us?
Well, Brittany and Andrew, an Amber Alert has been issued for 6-year-old Kingston Frazier. Let's go and take a look at his picture right here. You can see he was last seen inside of that car wearing a white shirt with khaki shorts and gold and black tennis shoes before being driven off in that car here at I-55 at the Kroger on I-55. Joining me right now is Kingston's uncle, Martin Archie. Good morning.
Good morning.
So just for starters, just kind of tell us how your morning went, when you found out that your nephew was inside of that car.
Well, I woke up to a phone call saying that get to Kroger ASAP, and I didn't know what was going on because my aunt, she was just hollering and crying. So when I got here, I come to realize that my nephew had been kidnapped and the car had been stolen with him inside. So at that time, I didn't know what to think, but I wonder where he is, or I wonder is, he trying to get away. Because Kingston is a very unique and smart kid. And, he was so looking forward to graduating on this morning at 10. And it's as far as my family, everybody's just sticking together trying to get through this. And, we're just hoping that, whoever have him, just please bring him back safe and don't harm him. You can drop him off at a store, fire station, just whatever. We don't care about the car at all. All we care about is Kingston.
Again, Kingston was 6 years old. He was graduating today, going to the second grade.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. He was graduating from North Jackson Elementary.
Okay, and just again, what did you like to say to that person that has your nephew?
Just please bring him back and don't harm him. Just please, because he have a lot of people that love him.
Well, thank you, Martin. We appreciate you talking with us this morning. Again, 6-year-old Kingston Frazier was inside of that car. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to call police. In Jackson, Tay Holmes, WJTV 12.
It's now.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. As investigators work to piece together why someone would kidnap and kill 6-year-old Kingston Frazier, we've learned from authorities that the child was shot multiple times and killed in Madison County. And reports say it was Byron McBride who pulled the trigger.
WJTV's Mallory Pullen joins us live now with a breakdown of events that led up to the discovery of Kingston and the arrests of 3 capital murder suspects. Mallory?
Well, Melanie and Byron, the first alert we got about missing 6-year-old Kingston Frazier came in the form of a press release from the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. But events started to unfold hours before the first Amber Alert hit your phone. Here's what we know right now.
1:15 Thursday morning, Kingston Frazier was last seen at the Kroger on I-55 in North Jackson. That's according to the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. In a news release sent to us by the Hinds County Sheriff's Department at 1:30 that morning, that's when an on-site deputy noticed something wrong.
We had one of our deputies working at the Kroger. He witnessed a female coming out of the store, and they made eye contact, and she mentioned, "My car is missing." At that time, this deputy, as we say, drew a case number for the report, because at that time we felt there was an auto theft, not knowing at that point there was a child in the back.
According to Jackson Police Commander Tyree Jones, at 1:28, JPD was dispatched to the Kroger for an auto theft and child abduction. 2 minutes later, an officer arrived on scene.
When we found out later it was a child in the back, we immediately notified the Highway Patrol to put out an Amber Alert.
Issuing an Amber Alert isn't a simple process. Multiple questions must be answered. A colored photo of the victim is required, and the information must be entered into the National Crime Information Center, known as NCIC.
The Department of Public Safety was notified at just before 3 a.m. And then we got the paperwork at just after 4 o'clock, and we issued the initial alert at 22 minutes later.
At 4:28, 22 minutes later, the information was sent out through the emergency alert system. Alerts were going off via radio and television. With the message, Kingston was last seen in this Camry. Nearly 5 hours later at 9:43, we were notified the Amber Alert for Kingston Frazier was canceled.
The vehicle has been discovered here in Madison County on Gluckstadt Road, abandoned on the side of the road. We do have a deceased subject in the backseat of the vehicle that we believe to be identified as the missing 6-year-old boy.
At 11 o'clock Thursday morning, the Hinds County Sheriff's Department reports Dwan Wakefield was taken into custody. That afternoon, around 2:45, WJTV reports D'Allen Washington taken into custody. More than 2 hours later, it's reported Byron McBride was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. All three are charged with capital murder and are in the Madison County Detention Center.
As we speak right now, there are search warrants which are being executed. There's information that we are in the process of gathering and collecting. So it is possible that as the investigation continues to unfold, that those charges could be changed to some extent.
All three are no stranger to the law. According to the Ridgeland Police Department, D'Allen Washington and Dwan Wakefield have juvenile arrest records. McBride was arrested last year twice in the city, once for a false ID and the other for discharging a firearm within city limits.
And the reason for why someone would do this to a child is still unknown. And one of the questions we're getting asked is, what about Kingston's mother? We are told that Jackson police are not investigating her at this time, and none of our requests for interviews today were granted with the Madison or Hinds County sheriffs.
Good evening and welcome. 3 teenagers will remain behind bars